What is that smell? Good morning, y'all. Andrew here from Funky Feathers Homestead, and today is another beautiful day. Weather's nice and cool, the sun's not bearing down. It's almost November and it's still not fall here. I think it's mid to high 70s right now. Sure, it would be a lot hotter if the sun was out. Today, I've got a couple of things to do. We have to run into town and go to the Department of Agriculture Extension for a couple reasons. One, got to do some soil testing for this area that's going to be our animal garden miracle garden to see what amendments we might need to add over winter to help improve this soil. Now, we were lucky enough to order a new, bigger fence from Premier One that will enclose this entire area. So not only are the chickens going to have a little more forage room, they're also going to be able to till up the entire interior of the garden for what we need, which is awesome. But because they're in such a small spot, I need to add something in here for them to continue to till in some more carbon material, and I need to add a free choice feeder for them because the greens are dying down. I need to add something back into their diet. I went out and got some alfalfa hay pellets. What is that smell? It smells like ozone, like burning rubber, burning plastic. It's on a compost pile. That would smell like rotting. Anyway, it's too early to put the compost pile in for them to scratch down, so I think I'm just going to throw the flake in to give them something to scratch down, entertain them a little bit, and get that carbon material back into the soil. So I have to install a feeder, throw the flake in, get some soil samples out of the areas that they haven't been in, because they're going to come back nitrogen rich, I'm sure, otherwise. And then we're going to go into town. So I'm not 100% certain why, but they really hate this yellow packaging. They always run from it. I'm going to try to do this quickly so I don't stress them out too much. So they scratched it down just a little bit. I threw some feed on top to kind of encourage them to do it. I cheated just a little bit. Yeah, we'll just leave them to it. Come back and check on it later. But now I need to get my soil samples done. So while I was doing all that with the chickens tilling, I managed to put together the boxes. So the instructions are relatively simple. It says collect 20 samples. 8 inches for plowed, 4 inches for undisturbed. This is definitely undisturbed. Thoroughly mix cores in a clean plastic bucket. I have a bucket. I think what I'm gonna do is take this topsoil off and then take what's underneath, which is mostly sand if I'm being honest. And I went to go grab a spade out of the garage and I found something a little more fun. Tactical shovel. Never used one before. This could be great. All right, I want to do this area outside the chicken pen because they haven't touched it yet. The other area I'm going to take a sample from, the chickens were on for about a week, so I think this will be a better sample of what we have untouched. And the other area, obviously, I have a nitrogen source. I don't have to worry about soil with depleted nitrogen, but it's the other thing that I don't know about. Well, anyway, let's get this done. Tactical shovel. Feels like the beach at high tide. And the sand is all wet. All right, there's sample number 1. So this is the spot where the chickens were about a week and a half ago, and I'm gonna find an area that doesn't look like it was too disturbed by them, just to make sure that I get kind of an honest evaluation. There's sample number 2. All right, that was fun. Now I'm gonna take these down to the agriculture extension and drop them off. See what we need to put in our garden to make the soil better. Awesome. Totally awesome. All right, so before anyone says anything, I know pine shavings aren't exactly ideal wood to be putting into your garden for the chickens to compost. And yes, they were in a plastic bag. I know that's not ideal either. It's all I have right now. So that's what I'm gonna put in. I haven't been able to source any local wood chips, and the leaves haven't fallen down off the trees yet. That's my ideal. I'm gonna go back and get the pine needles and the leaves that come down off of the trees and put that in there. Kind of recycle what the land is taking up. Anyway, off to the Department of Ag. All right, and we're back. Stopped by to have lunch with Sabrina. Stopped by Brown Dog for some nitro cold brew, and mailed off the samples. So got a lot of good information from the extension. Unfortunately, we have to wait for that soil test to come back before we can deal with some of it. So right now I'm just gonna go check and see if the chicken have taken down any more of that wood pile. Hey girls, and Benny. How y'all doing? See, they got a little bit done there. Now it's time to go back inside and get some other chores done. I got to do some editing. And then come back out and check on them again even a little bit later. Okay, y'all. It is 6:30. Probably another 30, 45 minutes before the sun goes down. Just want to come and see how much the chickens have done to this pile of shavings before they go up for the night. Check it out. All right. Good job. Y'all rock. Still working on it, huh? So now they're gonna till that all in with the soil and their manure, and it's gonna make the land that much more fertile. It's an awesome little system, but it takes a while, which is why we're not planning on planting it in this spring, but next spring. So when we get the results back from the Department of Agriculture, we'll figure out what amendments we need to put in to correct the deficiencies in the soil. Maybe lay down some pasture grass in the spring, so that way when we bring the chickens back next winter, they'll have something to eat and something to till in to add back to the soil. So that's going to do it for today. I'm Andrew from Funky Feathers Homestead. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.